Hey guys, Garrett Tice here with Applied Software. Today I want to talk about symbols. More specifically, symbols inside of the button properties of your item files. I'm going to direct this blog post to creating a symbol for a grill or a register or a diffuser. So I'm going to go ahead and move to my GRDs tab here. And I'm going to go to the button properties. Every item has button properties, and in those button properties you can see a symbol option. I already have a symbol for my round diffuser. But when you select symbol, it's going to ask you to browse for an ITM file, a DXF file, or all files. My suggestion is to create an ITM file and use that as your symbol. DXFs work just as well, but in this example, I'm going to show you how to create an ITM and use that ITM as a symbol. You don't need to have that ITM stored in your folders. You don't need to see it. So maybe you move it to an images folder, something along those lines. But then you can browse to that ITM and you can use that as your symbol when you're drawing with DesignLine. So I'm going to go look at my return grill. I showed you the round spiral. Notice I don't have a symbol for my return grill. That's what we're going to create today. Go ahead and get that set as a terminal there. All right. Now I suggest creating these inside of CamDuct. Now I'm going to show you two examples here because there are two ways to achieve the same thing. I'm going to start a blank job. Now I'm going to use Opus to create the image or the symbol that I'm wanting to go when that item is placed using DesignLine. Here's Opus. So inside job contents you have Opus. If you start a new Opus part here, it's going to ask you to place that item into the job. Now if you start a Opus part here inside of item folders, it's going to create a item and it's going to ask you to store it to your folders. So I'm just going to show you both of those methods really quick. I'm going to start in job contents and I'll draw here. Now I'm going to start with a rectangle and I'm going to draw a 12 by 12 rectangle. And I'm going to go ahead and make it visually a return. Now typically that's what I see for return. This is what I see for exhaust. And if I pull this line all the way through, that's what typically indicates a supply grill. Now I only want to return, so I'm going to get rid of that additional line. Now your steps here. If you were to just save this right now, when you place it inside of your CAD program using DesignLine or EST, it's going to throw it out in space. So what I always do is I move this from the center point to 0, 0, 0. Once it's at 0, 0, 0, we're now ready to save that. When I hit accept here, because I started my Opus part inside of job contents, it's going to add this to the job. So I'm going to hit accept. It's going to say, what's your material? And when I hit OK, I now have that item in my job. I'm going to right click and I'm going to save as catalog. This is how we can save it as an ITM file. I'll put it in HVAC, grills, diffusers, and I'll call it return image and hit save. So now when I go to my item folders, HVAC, grills, diffusers, here's my my return image. Now notice if I start it from here, inside of the item folders, new Opus part, I'm going to draw that same exact part. I'm going to start here, we'll do 12, 12. We're going to draw the same exact image inside of Opus here. I'm going to do the same process of moving it from the center point to 0, 0, 0. Now when I hit accept, same message comes up. And when I hit accept now, it's going to ask me, hey, where do you want to save this? So save yourself a step. If you know the ultimate goal is to have this Opus part that you're creating be an ITM, jump on over to your item folders, start your Opus part, so that way you're saving yourself a click. And I'll just call this, I'll spell out return. And so now I have that return image and that return image. Now when I jump back into CADmep, I'm using the same database here. I can go into the button properties of my return grill. I can go to my symbol and I'll browse. and we'll go look for return image right there. And I'll go ahead and hit open. You can see my image. I'll go ahead and hit OK. Now, because I'm using the same template on my 2-inch, I should be able to see that same image. So just real quick, I'll do a quick little draw. Let me get to the top view. I'll grab my return grill here. I'll slap him on. And when I fill in 3D, there we go. So use Opus to draw any symbol that you may want to associate with any of your items. In this instance, I did a quick return. You can draw all of your diffuser symbols inside of Opus, whether it be supply, exhaust, or return. And you could even draw that spiral symbol or the round diffuser. You could draw that symbol inside of Opus. Save it as an ITM, and inside the button properties, map that symbol. Hopefully this was beneficial. Leave me your feedback below.